Going to call to order the August 2nd meeting of the Parks, Rec, and Cultural Arts Committee. And let's see, a moment of silent reflection. We'll start with that. All right. So the first item that requires consideration is the approval of the minutes. I believe those were circulated to you in advance.
I move for approval.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the minutes are approved. The minutes of, let's see, what meeting was that? That was the June 6th meeting. So we have one item of business before us today, and that is consideration of Birmingham Museum of Art board appointments. And I think we have a representative from the Birmingham Museum of Art board, Mr. James Outland. And I don't know, we've received the packet. Did you all want to make a presentation about the recommendations you've made?
I think we're both here to answer
questions.
You
Okay.
may have or provide any specifics, but we tried to be as comprehensive as possible with the submission.
Yeah, so we are in receipt, and thank you for, broadcasting it pretty widely. I think people have gotten it from you, they've gotten it from me, so we're well briefed on your recommendations. And it looks like you're filling the regular board seats, but not the short-term board seats at this time, right?
Yes, Councilor, the annual seats.
Annual seats, okay. Do you plan to fill those? I'm just curious.
I can speak to that. Should we approach the...
Sure, you can come up and talk about that.
And I'm joined by James Outland, our past board chair.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
But the governance committee has decided to utilize the annual memberships to tee people up, be kind of an onboarding position when we see a 6-year vacancy coming up. So you'll notice that Dr. Eric Jack from UAB, from the Collette School of Business, he served as an annual member. That term is coming to an end, and now he is being put forward for a full 6-year term. The reason being, in the past, and you may remember this from your own service on the board, it would be a little frustrating because we would have someone who just started serving on the board, would be excited about service, and then there was no place to put them because there wasn't a vacancy. So now we've timed it so that whenever we bring on an annual member, there is, should they wish to continue, there is a place for them to go.
Okay, so you have so many annual member seats in your bylaws, but you don't, because I think for a while you weren't filling them at all. You weren't even using those.
Right.
So that's how you all have decided to use them.
Correct.
If you have 2 seats coming open in 3 years, you might fill a few of those annual board seats to get people acclimated. And
I think because they're 6-year terms for the full-time board, to Graham's point, you don't want to have someone serve a year and then not be involved with the museum for 2 or 3 years before an annual board seat comes available. So we're trying to plan where we can have someone serve in an annual capacity when we're nearing the opportunity for there to be a 6-year board seat available, so we can keep the continuity, but also the enthusiasm of the individual.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I was just thinking, even if you have to fill 1 seat, it might be good to get a couple of annual board members, because everybody may not want to go forward,
That's right.
They can get a taste.
So definitely something I'll report back to the governance committee.
No, I'm not, I'm just saying it, you may need 2 to get 1, you know what I mean? Or
After they serve their 1 year, they may say,
Yeah. Well, thank you all thank you, Mr. Outland, for your service. And let me just see if my colleagues have any questions about the recommendations you all have made.
No? Good to go.
Looks like a good slate. So is there a motion to approve the recommendations for the Birmingham Museum of Art board slate?
I move to accept the nominations from the Birmingham Museum of Art Board and send the recommendations to the full council.
All in favor? Aye. Okay, so that's approved. I believe it should be on the next council meeting. I will confirm that.
Okay.
And let you know.
Great. Thank you all so much
Thank
for your
you
time
all.
and consideration. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So the next item I placed here is our park board nominations process and timing. I know I did one announcement from the dais about taking applications, and I'd like to keep taking applications through August, and then those can be directed. I'd like for you all, if you have people, to direct those to Carmen, direct them to submit something to Carmen, and then we will circulate. But I just want us to be in a position, because I believe there will be people rolling off this year after their terms expiring. They are not wishing to continue to serve. So I want us to be ready to make some good appointments to that board. Are there any questions?
Do you have anybody in particular you're looking for?
In terms of skills, I know there's some skills. We do have a lawyer on the board, and it would be nice to keep somebody like that on the board. But, someone who's enthusiastic about urban green space, botany, events, programming for communities, that can support, what we already do.
Do they have to live in the city of Birmingham?
I believe so. They have to be citizens of Birmingham.
Yes.
And
The board members have to be citizens, but we do have a park board foundation, and they can be either or.
but now, have we activated the foundation?
That's in your court.
Okay, so Carmen's going to get with you to get the documentation that, we haven't been able to find it in the clerk's office, so we need something to reference, like in the time frame or whatever, from when that was created. And now I'm thinking I may have it and didn't send it to her, but she doesn't have it. So we just need to we were talking about that earlier today.
And do keep in mind that the park board is to set policies. Okay? And strong community ties with the corporate community and fundraising would be, to me, a plus, being that I've been there a couple of years and I see the dynamics, what's going on. I think a diverse board is still good, but the community ties, and like I said, corporate community, on the philanthropic side to raise funds, I think all of that should tie in as well.
Shanae, can you come up and talk a little bit about the foundation? When it was created? I know it was for a particular project, but it's already chartered. We just haven't activated it.
Right, it's a 3-member board. And I think the term of the last foundation person rolled off last April.
Oh, wow.
And they were responsible for fundraising for the park system. The last big project that was done was at Legion Field, and that was the last big project. But there are projects that I think that would be useful for that foundation to assist with. First project to me would be to finish the all-inclusive playground at Bessie Estelle Park.
Okay.
We have like $47,000 in there. $30,000 was donated by Senator Smitherman. So, and then we have another 17. So to complete, that would be a project that the Park Foundation could assist with.
So is it the park board, is it the department's request that we go ahead and make appointments to the foundation board so that you all can have that entity?
I think it would be the interest of both the park board as well as for the department itself.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out who would be requesting that we do this. The park board, so should the park board request that the city council appoint members to the Park Board Foundation once they know?
It goes the same way. The council still appoints the Park Board Foundation.
Okay, and you all administer, like, in terms of convening them for meetings and all that stuff?
It'll be both. It'll be regular Park Board meetings as well.
But
There'll
you all
be-
would, your staff would administer that in terms of notifying them that, hey, we're having a foundation meeting and how many meetings there are a year. We can look at the documents and see how often they're supposed to meet, but you all would convene them, right?
I think it should be, it may be of the Park Board. They'll probably need to come on the first and third Wednesday as well.
Okay. Is that how it has operated?
I think it was
when you-
previously done the same way.
When you had
And
both
then the
entities
board would
active.
recommend, based off from staff, the projects that are needed, just like they did for the extension of Legion Field. So, yeah, it'll go both the same way.
Okay, so it's almost like another, I know we have committees of the Park Board now, but this would be a special purpose group of people
Correct.
who would be asked to raise funds for different projects.
Correct.
Okay. All right, well, we will, Carmen's going to follow up with you because we did talk about
That's
it
fine.
today.
Okay.
And so if we get some candidates who seem like they would be, a better fit for the Park Foundation, we'll keep that in mind as we review what's submitted, and then we may be able to fill both fairly near term, depending on what kind of response we get.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, that's it. Any
I
questions?
think so, unless you have, that's it for the Park Board nomination process and timing. I think we want to be in position to make appointments this fall if we need to. And then, get sort of studied up on the foundation board and how that's going to fit in and operate. And then that's really all I had to discuss with this item. But if you have announcements for the Park Board that you would like to make, we can consider those as an other. I always put an other here just
I think you did
as a
it in the
placeholder.
council meeting today about this weekend. So that's basically it for right now.
Okay.
With the Safe Haven initiative that we
Yeah.
have going on. And Memorial Recreation Center is part of it. Mondays will be at MLK. Tuesdays will be at Memorial. And Wednesdays will be at Inslee
Okay.
for
Sounds
6 weeks
good.
straight.
Any questions from my colleagues about those? Okay. I think Stanley loaded us up with some flyers and other information.
Okay, and do keep in mind, every first Wednesday in November is when the Park Board nominates president, elects the president and vice president.
Okay, every,
Every November, first
Okay.
meeting in November.
okay. All right, so that's good to know for board appointments and such. Okay. All right, well, if there are no other questions of our Parks Director, I think we're adjourned. I mean, is there a motion to adjourn?
I move for adjournment.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
We're adjourned. You can do that.